Buckle up. Football Friday. Yes, sir. As my friend Jack Whitaker would say, yes, sir. That's what you want to have, a little content from last night. And we have a boatload of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly is what we witnessed last night in that 34-27 exhibition game number 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Had a chance to watch the entire ball game. Many of the things that I saw that we predicted right here are starting to play and swim its way towards big sales. What an off season we're having. Woo! Holy cow, we say it here, we see it there. Like the Hulkster, man. Absolutely. We see it here, right? And we say it here, and there it was. Holy cow. There is so much to get to, and the easy low-hanging fruit would be Kelee Ringo, but we're going to wait for that steak as we put it on the grill here in a couple minutes. We're going to get to my takeaways. We'll go through the numbers. We will give out game balls. Who won the night? Who was the player who won the night? And who was the player that shined last night? Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you coming aboard. Mike North, you guys enjoyed him? A Chicago legend who loves the Eagles and loves Jalen Hurts will be with us at 4:30. One of the great broadcasters and sports talk dudes in history. And the legendary Mike Golick will be with us. That will be at 5:30. We will have the former Eagle on, former host of ESPN's morning show. You all know who he is, and we will have him up. That'll be at 5:30 Eastern time. Hit that like button. Let's get right to the takeaways. What you guys think of last night's ball game? Read some of your comments when we're in here. So let me get to my takeaways here and what we witnessed last night. Here we go. You ready? Hit that like button, guys. Supers go to the top. Tanner McKee can play. That dude can freaking play. He is a good-looking football player. Like 37. Let's go, Tanner. Tanner Manning. I like it. Kyle. Looks to me, CB2 will be won by what pile of horse stinks the least. All super chats will always be this, guys. The supers will interrupt big sills. A pocket QB with first team could be scary. Oh, no. Not going there yet, but we will make a case for something with these comments here in a minute. Tanner McKee can play. He destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals first team defense. Not that that's a big deal, but he destroyed that the Bengals and Al Golden put the first team Bengal defense on the field last night. He crushed them. I mean, he systematically destroyed. Yeah, I'm going to change these, man. These things are crooked on my noggin here a little bit. There you go. Hey, he systematically destroyed that Cincinnati Bengals defense. It's still a work in progress. We had Dave Lantham on the other day, part of the broadcast team, and the dude was trying to tell me that's a Super Bowl team. Not in your million dreams that is a Super Bowl team, the way that team played defense. Absolutely not. By the way, destroyed them. That's the Bengals' first group that he was going against in the first 3 drives. I mean, they completely confused them. And you know what, too, you love about McKee? McKee's playing with backup guys. He's not playing with frontline star dudes. I mean, the only guys that were on the original starting lineup were Tyler Steen and were Jahan Dotson. Everyone else was second and thirds, and he dissected that Bengal defense, which is the number one first-team guys, and he killed them. What happens when you got to play against somebody like Lamar Jackson, or you got to play against Josh Allen? You can't stop Tanner McKee. That guy went right through you, man, like shit through a goose. Defense has more holes than a strip club. We're going to suck, Sills. No. We are not going there. Hang on to that there. But, Nick, thank you. Jahad Campbell. Let me say this to you. Mixed reviews. I saw a lot of skill set stuff. I thought he was pretty good out there at times. I also thought he was confused at times, especially when Burrow was out there on the field. That guy had that guy's head on a swivel. Joe Burrow made those second-team dudes. By the way, you guys don't get it, do you? Half that roster that you saw play last night, that's half your football team. Somewhere, 30 guys have to be picked out of that stuff you saw last night. So as we tried to tell them Ringo was cheeks. Hey, Leon, here. Do you understand, guys? Some of you idiots in here are saying those guys that's half your fucking roster. Over half your roster played last night. Do you understand that? 22 starters. You still got to find 35 guys. You've got to find 35 guys out of that last night. 35 dudes. So when you say that game didn't matter last night, over half your fucking roster is going to be picked off those guys that you saw play last night. So you relax. Hey, we asked the question, why is Anais Smith and Johnny Wilson on the team? Okay. I saw it last night. Thank you for answering. Why are they on the team? Okay. I saw it last night. Burrow destroyed Trotter, Munden, the entire secondary. Very little pass rush. Now, again, Cooper, Q, Carter, and Ajomo were 4 players missing from last night's game. 4 players were missing from last night's starting lineup, okay? All big players. Not trying to sell you that those players won't make an impact. And Bond. Thank you, Gabe. And Bond. To sit here and say that those 5 players wouldn't make an impact is ridiculous. Blankenship as well. Absolutely. To sit there and think that, again, they look confused, well, maybe this is one of the reasons why Reed Blankenship's, and they need that leadership back there because their heads were on a swivel last night. I haven't even gotten to some of the bad here. Ringo after said he needs to bring swag. What the fuck? Dude, you don't bring swag. You're built with swag. It's a stupid comment. Kelee Ringo sucks, as predicted. I want to make sure I underline this, though. These are takes you don't want to be right on. I'm not rooting against the kid. I am not rooting against him. Adoree Jackson sucks. As told here all offseason. Those guys are not replacing Slay. As a matter of fact, Sidney Brown's not a very good tackler. He is not a very good tackler. I mean, there were missed tackles everywhere last night. He is just not a very good tackler. You can sit here and you can kiss Sidney Brown's ass all you want. He is not a good tackler. He over pursues and he doesn't wrap. There were so many fundamental things last night. The Kelee Ringo, the guy just, I mean, that's got to be a 15-yard completion, and he's got to get him on the ground. That's why you pay that kind of money out there for lockdown corners. I mean, it was on display. He's a poor tackler. Don't get mad at me. I started the war in Norway. There you go. Absolutely. They're screaming in Oslo right now because Leon was right. There you go. The front page of the Viking. Okay? The front page of the Viking. Yeah, Uche and Ojulari were did they dress last night? And here's another one. Senor, Sidney Brown got hurt because he keeps his head down when he tackles. Come on. I learned as a kid, you tackle with your head up. Absolutely true. And he runs off the field. Well, guess what we said yesterday about Sidney Brown when we were talking to Xander? How do you think the development has gone with Sidney Brown? Well, it's not fair because he can't get on the field because of injury. Well, that's part of it. This guy's injury prone? Fuck that. He's out. You're not in a position as an Eagle team right now to be sitting around waiting and wet nursing guys. You're trying to win a Super Bowl. You're the team that sits at the pole right now. You're not going to fucking wait around whether a guy's ready to play or not. You need to make decisions today so that people tomorrow don't catch you. Guy's always fucking hurt. Brown, out. Until further notice. Guy makes a play. He's off the field and he's in the tent. Get out of here with this shit. I'm done with that. This is all part of the process. Sills, I heard they're selling Ringo toasters. Let me get to him now. I think that guy cannot track a wide receiver to save his fucking life. And let me tell you, I heard Xander this morning. You know what he said? As soon as the guy's in front of him, what does he do? He stops his fucking feet and he can't track and he's late. Dude, you got the ability. Okay, he needs more reps. Like that guy needs about 1,000 reps to see whether or not how good he is. Like the receiver, he's in position. He can't make the play. Why? Because he hasn't done it. He just hasn't done it. He's not good enough. He's Adoree Jackson. I see why Vic hates him. That guy is soft. He plays too far off the fucking ball. And when he goes to make a tackle, Isaiah Rodgers makes him look like he's Ronnie Lott. I mean, Adoree Jackson is soft. He sucks. Holy shit. And get this, I'm not just talking about Jamar Chase. I'm talking about the other dudes that came out there and whooped both their asses. That thing was fucking sad. Those are your starting guys that you're going to pick from. You don't have the guy on your fucking team right now. Your safety position blew out loud last night. Your corner position blew out loud. And get this, your edge rushers were fucking awful. I don't know what else to say here. The running backs, I thought, were great last night for Philly. Ty Robinson, something was on display last night. I thought he still struggles getting off of blocks. Okay, had a sack. He's an effort guy. And there's no doubt what you saw last night, going against Mulata and Lane in practice, you're not going to get any movement. So when you go against lesser players, that was on display last night. See what we're saying here? You're playing against Lane Johnson and Jordan Mulata and a lot of really good football players in Philadelphia on that old line. Okay? And there's no doubt that guy last night, I mean, if you're Vic Fangio, you've got to say this about your edges. Holy shit. You're not replacing Josh Sweat with any of those fucking guys. Nolan Smith can't do it himself. You just can't. Ojulari and Uche were fucking missing in person. It was terrible. Those are the guys that have to make up some of your core of your defense. Remember I said 35 men have to be selected for your roster off that group of men you saw play last night. I don't give a shit about the score. I'm talking about the players that are going to have to be contributors this year. I saw very little. Jahad Campbell, I saw him swiping. I posted something that Baldy said. There were a lot of good fundamental things he did out there. He got lost in coverage, man. Munden actually looks better than him. Samil London, he looks better. That guy, Samil Munden, looks better than him. He looks like he has more of an understanding of the defensive set that's being asked to him. He looks more comfortable at the linebacker position than Campbell. And it looks to me that Vic's giving him more reps than he's giving Campbell. We said that Munden would be the guy that probably is going to be the swing linebacker like Burks. Okay, so I think that that's where they're going to go. That it'll be Trotter and it'll be Bond and Munden will be the backup. And Campbell, they'll put in particular packages to try to get him acclimated to the game. Okay? Here's Prince. Seals in the game, both Ringo and Sidney show a lack of fundamentals and technique for their positions. Kelee Ringo had difficulty breaking down to effectively tackle Chase. Correct. Now, Prince, that could be, to be fair, a rep thing. Because, did you see what Chase did? He stutter stepped him. He stopped his feet, went right around him. That's basic football. He struggles at the basics, which is troubling. I mean, you see why he's been on the sidelines now for 3 years. It was on display last. Now, look, Jamar Chase, you got to be fair. He's going to do that to everybody. He's one of the great wide receivers in the game, okay? I'll tell you this, that moving off of Gardner Johnson, by the way, good news on Gardner Johnson, it doesn't look like his ACL, which is great for him. But that Slay and Gardner Johnson move looks fucking terrible after the first 2 weeks of preseason football and practice. Xander, I missed the super by my friend Leon. That fucking thing looks stupid. Now I see why Vic wants Q to follow the right. Right. Get this. Hey, Leon, let's put this out there. The reason that, and say it with me, the reason that Vic Fangio has Quinyon Mitchell traveling is because he knows he doesn't have a corner two. And here's something else that's evident. If you suck that bad at corner two, why aren't you putting Cooper out there? Unless you think he can't play it. Unless you think he can't play it. And by the way, you don't think that that's going to be a deficiency when you go and Dak will score points on that CB2 right now. I don't care what you think of Dak. Tanner McKee would score points on that. He would score points. Now, excuse me, unless you saw something different last night. There's a serious competition for wide receiver 3. Darius Cooper. Can I make a comparison for him? I don't know. I see some Deebo Samuel on how you could use that guy. I think you could drop his ass in the slot and put him down there in the slot. But would the quarterback find him? Would the quarterback find him? I mean, I don't know. You do not use that receiver number 3 at all. Dude, you could put my cousin in there. It wouldn't matter. So when somebody goes like this, Johnny Wilson and Anaya Smith and Darius Cooper, oh, okay. Well, does it really matter? You're not going to fucking utilize it because you never do. That kid, Darius Cooper, is even built like Deebo. He kind of has the Deebo characteristics. I'm not saying he's Debo. I'm like, he kind of moves around like him. Okay? Kind of like right around in that room there. Adoree Jackson will not make the football team. I don't want that guy on my football team. He's not good enough. That guy is not good enough. Shit, the dude that they traded for the Raiders had the best night of everybody. He didn't even have to fucking do anything. And it elevated his game. Okay? So here's your safety position. Your safety position, Sidney Brown cannot tackle. He cannot tackle. Unless you saw something fucking way different last night. That guy cannot tackle. He is not a good tackling player. Adoree Jackson is fucking soft. Kelee Ringo, again, what's he thinking? He just looks like he's overcooking it. Like, bro, go fucking make a play. You played in the Southeastern Conference. You can't let Jamar Chase run you out of the fucking room like that on a simple play for a corner. A pro corner puts that guy on the ground that close in space. You can't just get with an arm swipe, run into the end zone. That was a terrible splash plus 25 play that Vic Fangio fucking hates. The good news is all your starters went out there. The bad news is some key positions are showing its head now. Here, rank these. CB2, edge, and safety. And let's take a look at that. Josh Sweat, Slay, and CJ. You don't have a guy on the team anywhere near those guys. Been telling you the entire offseason. You guys thought you had somebody, and because you gave Howie the benefit of the doubt, bro, just like every team's different every year. Every situation will be different. You think you're going to duplicate if that was the case, the Eagles would win the Super Bowl every fucking year. If they were going to hit on everybody every year. That's asinine to think that. Okay? And for the record, do I think Kelee Ringo sucks as a football player? No, I think he sucks as a corner. There's two things. Two things can be true. I think he's got skill. He just can't put it together. Hey, how many days? Somebody tell me how many days until September 4th? So those are my takeaways. I'm going to get to the numbers here in a minute. My takeaways, I thought the offensive line played exceptionally well. The backups were fucking great. Absolutely great. McKee was spectacular. Will Shipley has definitely, without a doubt, in my opinion, as of August 8th, hammered down the number 2 running back position. I think there's some good looks at number 3 wide receiver. I believe that you're finding some guys and you're looking at the rotation of your offensive line. I think that you need some help trying to figure out what Jahad Campbell is. I thought Dillon also played well. He had a 5.4 average in the ball game. All right. I mean, there was and Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee could start on 10 to 12 football games in the NFL. Now, I want you to hear me say this. I don't believe that Tanner McKee's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, but he's a better pocket passer than Jalen Hurts will ever be. He doesn't have the skill that Tanner has. Tanner just lacks the experience. It's not a rip. Jalen can do more. Jalen's got a bigger toolbox to be able to do more things with. that Tanner doesn't have. And those other things that Jalen Hurts has absolutely put him above Tanner and a lot of other quarterbacks in the NFL. His running ability. Jalen is a good passer. McKee has fundamentals to make him a great passer. But Jalen has more options and ability to be able to do more things because of his running. So all in all, Tanner McKee on a good offensive line with good skill set people, he could be something like in the skill set of a Matthew Stafford. Stafford needs a good O-line, needs good players around him. He needs protection. When protection breaks down, Stafford breaks down. It's that skill set. I'm not telling you that guy will be that good. I'm talking about skill set. And he also has to have this. Well, here, you see this thing here? My problem with Tanner is mobility. Brady had no mobility, and nor did Manning. Those guys didn't have issues with mobility. They didn't have it. They played against it. They had checkdowns. They had a short passing game. They threw across the middle of the field, something Hurts never will do. And he's 6'6", 6'7". He's got a better vision of the field. Again, I'm not telling you there's some sort of there's no conversation with that. There's just no conversation. I'm not going anywhere near them. I'm telling you that guy is not a 7th-round quarterback. I'm telling you that kid looks like I'll tell you what, I see a little Nick Foles in that dude. With Foles a better athlete. Tanner reminds me of prime Matt Ryan. Ringo sucks. Jameson, thank you for the super. Supers go to the top. Tanner McKee is making in rising in draft value. Okay? He has got a great pocket presence. And he's accurate. You know what? I kept saying this. Why in the world is Johnny Wilson on the fucking team, and why is Anaya Smith? That's the best I've ever seen those two guys play last night. I've never seen those guys play any better. And they made those guys play great, and he did. So, I mean, players spoke. He spoke. We'll talk about that a little bit. Game balls, we're going to do that here in a second. Hit the like button. Let's go to the numbers and what they did as an offense and what they did as a defense. Remember something. Let's put this in context here. Carter, let's write them down. Reed, Morrow, Bond, Q, and Cooper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you put 6 with meaning that Cooper's going to be at the safety position and base, you're looking at 6 guys off your starting defensive football team. So again, put that in context. All right? But here's what I'll say. Those guys on the field against Burrow, whew, yeah, they made that thing look terrible last night. Dan, you really going to tell me you wouldn't trade Tanner for a starting secondary player instead of what if Jalen Hurts gets hurt? Why don't you wait until people really need the guy? Is what I would say to you. Make the value rise. Dude, it's always good to trade a guy when a team has to panic. They're not going to panic in training camp on August 8th. Somebody gets hurt in the final exhibition game, they're going to panic. And then they'll come calling for a 3rd rounder for the kid. Or Howie makes a trade for a player. Howie doesn't need any more draft picks, folks. He needs an edge rusher, and he needs a safety, and he needs a corner. That's what he needs. He doesn't need any more picks. He's got them next year. That's all set up. All those picks you have? Yeah, you needed fucking players. Shopping at the dollar store reared its head last night. Big Sills, did you see that passing game, the rifleman, Tanner McKee? He was great. He was great. 20 of 25, 252. 2 TDs, 3 total. He was accurate. He had a great field vision. There is no doubt that guy. And let me ask you something here. Let me go down here and let me go through the numbers first, and then we'll go to the topics here. Scores are relevant, but they kept scores, so I say it. 34-27. Okay, Eagles win. First downs, 23-19, right down the board. Pretty shitty third down efficiency. 3 of 15 for the Eagles and 3 of 12 for the Bengals. Not very good. Total play, 73-60. Time of possession obviously was going to be on, when you see that number, will be on the Eagles side. Total yards, 432, 325. I'll tell you this, outside of that first unit of the Bengals, that team is low on talent. Cincinnati is fucking low on talent, boy. Duke Tobin. I don't know what people think. People in Cincinnati really think that's a Super Bowl team? No way. You're not better than the Chargers. No way. 300 to 268 in passing. Okay. A lot of penalties. 10 of 80 and a ton of missed tackles. Not a very good combination when you're talking about, again, second group guys, though. So let's be fair here. So Nolan and Jalix don't exist. I'm not sure what you're referencing. I didn't see Jalix Hunt. Did he play last night? Did Jalix Hunt play? I must have missed him. I don't think he played, right? Did Jalix, he didn't play? I don't believe he played. Why? I don't know. Because that dude needs a lot more reps. I don't think you have good edge rushers. Running, 132, shows you once again the offensive line opening up holes to run the football. Turnovers, 1 apiece. Time of possession. Joe Burrow was spectacular. 9 to 10, 123, 2 touchdowns, almost 160 QB rating. I mean, look, it's against the twos. Someone's out there, some guys battling for one spots at the safety position and corner, rotating linebacker, the rotating edge rushers. They were looking and also trying to battle for a job. So, again, you got to put everything in context here. Joe Burrow should kill that team. 8 starters, not 6 when you include those 2. Once again, Raymond, half your football fucking team was going to come off that field last night. You understand that? 35 guys that played last night are going to make the team. Do you get that? Okay? 35 guys. And by the way, I don't care if you have the rest of those guys on the team. If your corner's getting murdered and your safety's getting murdered, you're playing against Patrick Mahomes, Dak, and Matthew Stafford and Baker Mayfield, who tore you a new one the last 2 games. They're going to find that hole. And they're going to plug it. Shipley, 7 for 48. Dillon had a 5.4 average, as we said, 5.27, 5 carries, 27 yards. Darius Cooper, 6 for 82, touchdown. I think he's a good player. I do. I think he's a good player. Now, he'll have that stigma on him for a bit, not being drafted. You know, listen, 2 things happen all the time when it comes to evaluating players. You know what the 2 biggest mistakes that NFL teams make? Do you know what the 2 biggest mistakes they make? They don't invite Division I AA players to training camp or to the combines. And they don't really invite a ton of HBCU guys. For whatever reason, they don't really scout those teams any longer. And you're going to miss guys in talent evaluating. You're just going to miss them. You're going to look at the school and you're going to go, who the fuck is this? And you're not going to invite that Because you know why? 9 times out of 10, and sometimes even 10 times out of 10, there's not going to be anybody in those schools or in that division that you're going to invite to the combines. You're just not. And so guys fall through the cracks. That's how they fall through the cracks. He's the 1 out of 10, potentially, that fell through the cracks. That's how that works. Is it right? Absolutely not. But the NFL's not going to spend boatloads of money going to places that don't have great recruiting and don't have great coaches. They're going to hang their hat in the SEC like the Eagles do, or they're going to hang their hat in the Big Ten. And that's right. With the effect of nil in the transfer portal, I'm not going to that school. What's the name of the school that he's from? I'm not fucking going there and recruiting anybody. Why would I go there? I'm going to hang out at the Southeastern Conference. That's how guys fall through the cracks. It's not right. But that's, again, why you look at particular guys. Okay, Toledo's not a 1AA football program, dude. Toledo's in the MAC, which is in Division I. In case you didn't know, I'm here to help. Okay, that's a Division I program. Temple's a Division I program. USF, UCF, San Diego State, just to here to help. Wyoming, those are Division I's. Q went to a Division I football program. Thank you. And 1AA. What's the name of the school the kid went to? What's the name of the school he went to? This Darius Cooper. Let's go here. Johnny Wilson, 3 catches for 73. Okay, so yeah. I look, I thought the Eagles with their second team, I thought the second team offense was pretty good out there last night. What's the name of the school? Never heard of it. Have they ever had any NFL guys come out of there? I've never heard of it. Tarleton State. Where is that? Tarleton State. I have no idea where it is. Someone help me out. Seriously, I cover college football. I've never fucking heard of it. Hit the like button, guys. Super chats go to the top. Get my game balls. It's in Texas. Makes sense. Do I think he should make the team? Well, how do you think Howie looks at that? You think Howie's going to keep a UDFA over Johnny Wilson and Nia Smith? Especially when you need a punt returner? Maybe he could be a punt returner. Maybe you put his ass back there as a punt returner. Maybe he turns out to be a 4th receiver there. I don't know. Let's see how he plays the next couple games. What do you got? The Browns coming up? They got a nice secondary. That'll be a nice test. Here's my game balls. I'll give it to the O-line. Every guy in that O-line gets a game ball. Nice job last night. Protecting the quarterback against the ones of the Bengals. I thought the offensive line performed exceptionally well last night. And there's players in that O-line that teams around the NFL will covet. Let me tell you something about your offensive line. There is no doubt 31 football teams are watching that game last night and watching every single one of those backups, praying that Roseman is going to put some of those guys on waivers because you can't keep them all. I say the Eagles should keep at least 11 to 12 O-linemen. Why? Because you're going to run the fucking ball a lot this year. You're not going to be throwing the ball. You're going to be running the ball. So I would want to keep more O-line and more of a treasure chest of offensive linemen that I think I do have, and I think they do have. Okay? I think they do have. I wouldn't want to put some of those guys out there. I did think that Chris Hinton, or what's his name? Hinton, Chris Hinton's son, I thought he struggled last night. McKee's like prime Lisa Ann. Just had to be there. How you doing? I think he's a heck of a football player. I got Trotter. I thought my takeaway on Jeremiah Trotter last night, I thought he was good. He had a solid game. I thought when the ones were out there, he looked stupid also. Got turned around a couple times. I mean, they went right down that field. Now, again, with Bond next to him and Carter and Davis in front of him, that'll be better. He'll be better. I mean, he really didn't have help in the defensive tackle position last night because those guys were getting drilled off the ball with the one group. And by the way, Cincinnati's not that good in the O-line. So, I mean, I thought he was okay. Nothing to write home about. I thought a ton of missed tackles. There were a ton of missed tackles last night in that football game. You know what's funny? I turned on the radio shows in fucking Philly. They watch a different ball game than me. It's funny, the fans and us, you that are in here, you saw the same game I did. I know you did. You're trying to sit down on your knee pads. You're still in 2024. Get the fuck out of that. That shit's over with. That shit's over with. Last night, that resembled nothing close to what it was. There were a shitload of missed tackles last night. Okay? Look, how many days is it? How many days is it until September 4th? Can someone tell me? I thought Trotter played okay. He was all right. I do think it's going to be Trotter and Bond in the starting. Munden will be the swing. As of right now, Jahad Campbell is not – I thought he would start. And again, this is the misinformation that you get from training camp and from the people that fucking cover the goddamn team that don't tell you the truth about Jahad Campbell. That's nothing I saw last night. Missed tackles, false steps. Munden looks better. All that bullshit I heard about Campbell has been bullshit. It has been bullshit. I mean, that's not how that looked last night. Darius Cooper, number 2, game ball. And Tanner McKee, obviously, number 1. That's what we saw. I mean, Munden looks like the third wheel now. He looks like the Oren Burks. Here's who lost last night big time. Ringo, Jackson, Brown. You can't say Campbell. Listen, he looked like a rookie last night that really hadn't figured it out yet. Munden has kind of an awareness of where he is on the field at least. He had missed tackles. By the way, on Sidney Brown one more time. Bro, you're in position. You had the guy, and you let a running back bounce off you like that? That's fucking awful. That's terrible. It's the same shit we saw 2 years ago. When you play secondary and you're a safety, why do you think Reed Blankenship right now is on your football team? Here's why. Because he's got great technique. He understands the scheme. He knows where to line up. He's not the best, but he knows what he's doing. One more time here. This is not true, folks. I'll tell you about him. I thought he had great effort last night. I thought the sack was a nice sack. I didn't think it was special. Okay, they had a nice twist. The penetration of the defensive tackle actually made that happen because he looped underneath, and the quarterback stepped up into it, Burrow into the sack. But that's what you're looking for on that twist. So he ran the twist well. I still think he struggles getting off blocks. I mean, I thought he struggled getting off some blocks last night. I don't look. He played better than what he's practiced like because he's going against Malata and Lane. Okay? Kyler, by the way, guys, please hit the like button here. I'm giving Campbell a pass. First NFL experience in a game with game speed, but no excuses for Ringo and Sidney Brown. They've been in the league longer, and I've seen enough. Time to pull the plug. Let's do a couple more preseason games before we roll into that. Seals, game one of the preseason shows how much these guys don't live tackle in practice. Expect these young guys to get better with the physicality. Absolutely true. If they get the game reps. Absolutely, if they get the game reps. Okay? So, yes, this is another fucking lie. Not true. I think he played a lot better than what he's practiced. That first series, he got drilled. Drilled. Seals, watching Chase's 2 TD shows Ringo's real issue. Yeah, he can't track. We said that from day fucking one. Remember I read you his scouting report? Struggles with tracking of the wide receivers. His scouting report says exactly who he is. He couldn't transition after he missed. I'm going to go back and find this. Okay? Let's see here. I'm going to go back to the one that I read you. Okay? I'm going to go back to the scouting report that I read you guys 3 months ago. Okay? I have it from one of my friend scouts. Has troubles tracking. Everyone knows this. This guy does not have good hips. Okay? He doesn't. Do you think it's probably why he hasn't seen the field? He's got athletic ability. There's no doubt. All right, let me ask you this. If something happens to Jalen Hurts, do you think Tanner McKee, you think he can go in there and win you a Super Bowl? Do you? If McKee had to go in there and play 5 or 6 games, 4 games, how many did Nick Foles play? How many did Foles play? We'll use that number. Okay? We'll use Foles' number. How many games did Nick Foles play? Nick Foles played 5. I think there was 2 final regular season games. Wait, was it 11-2? Was 11-2 when Wentz went out? 11-2, 14-15. He played 3, and then he played, I think it was 6. Right? Or was it 5? It could have been 5. So Foles played 5 games. NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl. I forget the other playoff game. Was it Atlanta that he played in? Do you believe that McKee could go out there and win a Super Bowl for you? Now, look, to compare him to Foles, Foles had an all-pro season a couple of years prior to that. And I think Foles is a better athlete than Tanner. But they show a lot of similarities in the pocket. Okay? I mean, could he go on and win a Super Bowl for you? Seals, yes, McKee can win if We stay balanced in the run. That's it right there. That's the key. If Barkley's if Barkley's upright, I still think, personally, for me, do I think Tanner McKee could go in there and win you a playoff game? And do I think he could take your team to an NFC championship game if called upon? Yes. Now, how valuable is that to you if you're Howie Roseman? I see people in here wanting to trade him for a corner. Man, I don't know. Are you going to trade that, what you guys just said, away for a corner that you don't know could play on your team? Unless he's somebody fucking established like a Surtain or a Derek Stingley? Are you just going to trade that away? Knowing that if that kid goes down, and by the way, how many years has Hurts played where he's played 17 consecutive games? 23? Do you really want to give that up? Sills, have you ever played with a player like Ringo that didn't have fluid movement, but everything else? Yes. That's why you got to find a position for him, Sammy. I appreciate the super. Xander, I missed one. But yes, Sammy, that's more common than you know. It depends on the organization on how much he lasts, though, too, Sammy. Like the Eagles will stay with Ringo because they see something there. They don't want to give up on him, and I give him kudos for that. Xander, I missed another super here, man. I appreciate that, dude. Guys, all supers go to the top. We appreciate you guys. Thank you again. Don't forget, Xander's going to join us at 3:30. We will have Mike North, and we will have Mike Golick at 5:30. Drake, Tanner McKee, and corner. Nobody wants a Dory Jackson, dude. To the Jets for Tyrod Taylor and quarter. I mean, dude, that sounds like a fantasy football comment, and that's not reality. Sauce Gardner would command 2 number ones. The Jets would laugh Howie off the phone. Sauce Gardner and Tyrod Taylor for a shit stain of Dory Jackson and a prospect like Tanner McKee. Not happening. Listen, now, if you're going to make a trade, okay, you got to put Tanner McKee and Nolan Smith in a first for Sauce Gardner and Tyrod Taylor. Act like that. Sills, after 2017, there's no way you move McKee unless someone overpays. Correct. Someone comes in and goes, here's a 2. That makes the room move. I just asked you guys, do you think if Hurts goes down, that guy could win you a Super Bowl? And you guys go, yeah. Now you want to trade him for Tyrod Taylor. Are you fucking crazy? And then you want to go Sauce Gardner. Yeah, well, that ain't working. By the way, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you how good this kid is here in a couple seconds, and I'm going to do it with Xander. Again, dude, stay with us. Stay on planet Earth here a little bit, okay? Stay on planet Earth. Guys, top of the hour, do me a favor. Please hit that like button, okay? Sills, Ringo and Adoree are worse than Bradbury and Sidney. Still can't tackle, so our pass rush has to generate more pressure, but question is, who and how? Correct. Ojulari and Uche, especially Ojulari. I mean, okay. You see why the Giants cut him. He's a one-dimensional guy. Wind him up. Let him try to run into quarterbacks. Other than that, he can't drop. He can't tackle. He's a terrible in-space tackler. Okay? Once again, you see this guy? 35 players off that roster last night that you saw play will make the team. Okay? 35 ball players will make your football team on the group of players you saw last night. Put that in context. Our backup, Sills, that's going to make the majority of your roster. those players you have out there. Last year, Oren Burks, Fred Johnson, Isaiah Rodgers, those guys were instrumental in you finishing the finish line and crossing the finish line as champions because they stepped in when needed. Sills, it seems to me we might have a quarterback controversy. You see, all the Jalenites want him trade right. Hurts better be on his P's and Q's. Come on, Tanner season. Sills, there's no reason why Jahari Alexander wasn't brought in, especially at the cost. Well, how about this one? You guys want to make a trade for Justin Simmons now? Dude, the safeties you have on your football team, one's made of clay, the other guy can't tackle. I don't know what you're thinking here. So I think you're going to put Cooper there. And that will put that to rest on Justin Simmons. But then when you get in nickel, who plays that safety? Sidney Brown and that other kid, Makuba? Dude, Tristan McCullum, in my opinion, is the better player. You know what? He may not be the better tackler. He may not be the better cover guy, but he does everything better than everyone else up there does. You got to go with what you have on your roster. That's another thing. If they thought Cooper could play corner, they'd put him there. You suck there. Maybe he starts getting reps this week against Cleveland. I don't know. Okay? Seals, can we get 3 viable players, cornerback, edge, safety, for a total of, say, $20 million? Judon, Simmons, and Samuel Jr. Man, on August 8th, you had – they're not doing anything for money. Mikey, this offseason they showed you their team was shopping. They're not spending any money. They care about 26 and 27. Mikey, they care about 26 and 27 right now. I don't care about spending money today. It's a great thought. I'm not saying you're wrong. But that's not what they're doing. Big Seals and Merrill Reese would be a good team. Peter, those are incredibly kind words. Thank you. Let's see here. Rick's going to be in the team, but can't be quarterback number 2. Dude, Eli Ricks, he's okay. I mean, he's okay. We're talking about okay players. All right? I told you Gabe Hall would have some sort of rotation. He played a lot last night. I was okay with him for what he was. Don't need to trade for Simmons. He's a free agent. Also, the Eagles should entertain Ringo at safety. Hey, dude, Lucius, it's a nice thought, but I'm not going to try to find a spot for a guy who can't play. Okay? I'm not going to look for a spot for a guy who can't play. Sills, with us going to Cleveland, will you talk to them about the availability of Greg Newsome Jr.? Yes, there's a couple guys in that organization I'm very friendly with. Seals, what about Tanner and Nolan for Chop Robinson? I'm not trading Nolan Smith and Tanner McKee for Chop Robinson. No way. Tanner McKee, you guys just said if Jalen goes down, he could win you a Super Bowl. And Nolan Smith is the only thing you really have at edge. And you want me to go with one player? No way. I am not trading away a guy who you guys just told me could win you a fucking Super Bowl if Hurts goes down. No way am I giving that up for who? Chop Robinson? No way. No, thank you. Nolan Smith's position on the team got stronger last night. What specific position should Howie move for? Dude, I think your safety position's not very good. But that corner was exposed. Dude, Joe Burrow, again, it's not that you're not going to have Q on the field and Cooper on the field. Will that help those guys back there? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you're a corner out there, you're on an island. You can't hide that guy. And here's the thing, too. In zone, he's already 10 yards off the fucking ball. He can't track. Quarterbacks are going to eat that guy up. It doesn't have to be Jamar Chase eating him up. Anybody, that entire first and second team guys got crushed last night. Adoree Jackson, I don't know. It surely doesn't look like he. How old is that guy? How old is Adoree Jackson? Because he looked like Slade looked younger. I mean, Darius Slade looked younger than that guy. Boy, so here's what you're doing when you're Vic. You play it too high, right? You got Kelee or Adoree off the ball, 10 yards. And you got two guys who can't track. One guy's soft as tissue. And you really think you're taking fucking people down? No way. And if you don't get pressure on the quarterback, then you accentuate other positions opening up, like tight end and screens and flares. Is Asante Samuel still available? Hey, Jeff, Asante Samuel will not be cheap. He's 26 years old. That guy will not be cheap, and the Eagles are not spending money. Now, here's something to think about. It's a pretty good idea here. Sills, would you trade 2 second-round picks for Denzel Ward if Bennett doesn't pan out? Two twos. Fuck. Man. That's rich, dude. I get you're not wrong. But man, that's a lot. 2 twos if a guy you just traded. And you're gonna hope that a trade pans out. And if it doesn't, then you're gonna panic with 2 twos. What team's gonna trade with the Eagles? Eagles are gonna have to send a 2 and a contingent 1 maybe to try to find somebody. Howie is in a position that they created. They created this with these 1-year Timu signings. This is where you are. I said this the entire offseason. You really think you're going to replace every one of those guys? You are fucking high. Now, again, context has to be here. A lot of guys last night are going to make some of these other deficient players in these positions look better. Carter's going to make the linebackers look better. The linebackers last night did not tackle well. But that'll improve when you get Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter up front. That will improve. Nolan Smith with the pressure, that will improve. Okay? The secondary routes will be less and not as matured. What happened last night, guys? What do you think happened last night to the secondary, why they played so bad? You didn't get any pressure from the front and from the edge guys, which created those routes to go like this and to mature to top point. Once you got to the top point, those corners had struggling problems when it came to tracking and zone. I mean, when you have pressure, those routes don't mature. They're cut off in the middle of the zone. Linebackers will drop and they're in the way. That's what you had a year ago with that number 1 defense. Last night's games, dude, why do you think Kelee Ringo got beat? Basically on a 16-yard out wheel route. Why? He was too far off the ball. He can't track. And the pass route was right in his face. And it developed right at the tipping point and at the zenith of the route instead of underneath. They didn't, that first group that they went against the Bengals, they didn't keep anything underneath. It was all in their face. And as soon as they caught the ball, the guys were in chase mode. Okay? But who's to say he would have got hurt if he was never traded? You never know. Gardner Johnson did not blow out his he did not blow out his knee, according to reports now. Okay? It is as simple as not practicing live tackling. I think there's a lot to this. The Eagle organization is one of the few that don't do this, and that's why we usually are healthier. Patience. Absolutely. Remember what I said yesterday. Hey, Pump, one of the reasons why we bring topics up, I know some of you just skate over them, but again, they sacrifice readiness versus health. And when I made that comment to you, it just went over some of your ears. Okay? Look, we have an offense that should be able to put up 30 points. Our D should only have to make 3 stops a game. Okay? Mikey, I like that. Thank you for the super. This is really awesome, Abe. Thank you. Dope. Thank you very much. Member for 12 months. Sills, he couldn't even press because he was going to get cooked off the bat. Even given space, he got cooked. And on the curl route, come on, man. Awful. And it wasn't just that one play. No, even the guys who came in after that were making plays on the guy. Now, remember, guys, I want context here. Okay? You put better football players out there on the field. You put better players next to guys, you're going to be better. Common knowledge. Get more versatility in being able to do things. Once again, my point is 35 dudes who have to come. All those guys who dressed last night, you got to find 35 guys who are going to be part of your 50-man roster, 53-man roster. That wasn't just for nothing. Mikey, thank you, bro. Okay? Seals, Ringo can't guard number 3s. I didn't see very many covering of anything last night. Dory Jackson is fucking terrible. That guy, you guys thought we were going to walk in and win that job? Once again, you know what this bullshit comes from? The people that cover that fucking team and try to blow these guys up. And I'm not saying John. I'm talking about those other fucking hacks like ESP that are telling me about all these guys having great practices. Tell you what, you put them in a game, they look like shit. I'm not talking about just against Joe Burrow either. I'm talking against like Jake Browning. I mean, Jake Browning, that ESP guy is a absolute fucking mouthpiece for that Eagle team. I have to give him kudos. You know how to keep a job, son. Walking around on your knees every single day at the NovaCare Center is a great job for you. Absolutely true. Wonderful gig, man. If you don't mind giving up a piece of your soul on giving and talking about really covering a team, then that's a perfect gig for that guy. Walking around on knee pads with Howie's face on him and telling you bullshit all day long like Azeez Ojulari and all these guys. Dude, those guys fucking suck. Kelee, Ringo had a good practice. When? They're fucking liars. Not covering that team. Listen, I'll be the only show to talk to you like this. The rest of them will fucking glaze it over and, it's this. It's like I said, 35 guys. You got to find 35 guys, and you got to find rotation pieces. You still got to find a safety in a corner yet. And by the way, the guy Jahad Campbell, I don't know, but the kid Munden, the kid looks better. He looks better. He missed a shitload of tackles too, though. The hell are you guys telling me? I will never believe another goddamn word out of that place. Big guy, how do you feel about the cornerback, Tariq Castro Fields? Swap him with Ringo. He had 2 PBUs in the 4th last night. I mean, dude, your corner's not on your football team right now. He's just not on your team. I'm not even sure your safety's on your team. I mean, here, a 14 guy is going to play and start? Jesus criminy. Jacorian Bennett might be the second best corner. We don't know it yet. Andrew Makuba, I mean, Jesus criminy, guy, you got to be tougher. I don't know. I really don't know. You're talking to me like, yeah, I mean, whatever. I haven't even got to my fucking topics yet. I think McKee's a really good-looking player. See this dickhead? Who fucking said that, douchebag? Stop crying because we've been right everything we fucking said this offseason. Stop crying. Stop crying. Nobody said that. Stop fucking crying. Trade McKee and some. I'm not trading McKee, dude. Buda Baker? Why would Arizona do that? They got and paying for a guy who's $46 million, who the last time the Cardinals played you, he beat you. Why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. They're looking to get another wide receiver in the building. For $3 million, we could have kept Rodgers. I heard John talking about Rodgers. Rodgers is going to get an opportunity to start in Minnesota at $7 million. Okay? $7 million. He signed a contract. I think it was an $18 million deal. I might be wrong. You guys can correct me on that. Dude, the Gardner Johnson and Slay moves look awful right now. They just look awful. Aside from the negativity, wait a minute. I told you your quarterback, hey, I'll give you another reach around, Tyree, so it'll make you feel fucking better about yourselves, and then you can hold your own nuts. Okay? I told you your quarterback played great. Your O-line played great. Your wide receivers looked absolutely fabulous. Your run game was really good last night. Unless you don't like being spoken to the truth to, and you like reach arounds, our show's not for you. With all that being said, how about my boy Johnny Wilson going and snagging passes? All head tap. Absolutely true. I go, hey, Tyree, negativity? You only hear the negativity because I gave you a lot of kudos last night for talking on how good a lot of players played. Darius Cooper played well. I hate to have to quantifying my fucking takes because you don't like, or not you, but people don't like to hear my analyzing of what I saw last night. Tyree, and I'm not picking on you. By the way, I appreciate the super, brother. Thank you. But don't fucking sit here and tell me negativity. There were a lot of good things that were done last night. How could you not see it? I'm not sure what you guys listen to. If the only thing you're waiting for is me to talk negative instead of giving the kudos of what we say about players that we've talked about. Jesus criminy, man. Come on, Tyree. That's not what we just spent an hour and 20 minutes on. That's exactly what we saw. You don't like it, and all you heard was negativity? Well, then I guess that's a you thing. Because that's not what I saw last night. I saw good, bad, and the ugly. Did you not hear me open my show that way? Good, bad, and the ugly. D is trash. No, it's not trash. You don't, again, context. Those players who look mediocre will play good with great players next to them. Schemes will fit better. Play calls will be better. Okay? It will be. Situational play calling will be better. By the way, Tyree, I'm not picking on you, man. All right? I'm not. Season's over. Tell you all, it's not. I mean, look, that is not. Okay, now here's something that's true. Sills, I'm worried though. Okay. Because, Nick, is this fair to say one of the things and some of the things that you're worried about were some of the overestimating of players' abilities to fit right in right away? Remember what we said? We questioned that. And because you guys, here's the problem. And Xander was right when he touted this. Doesn't Howie Roseman deserve the benefit of the doubt? You gave it to him. And you're still giving it to him. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Isn't this where you are? You gave him the benefit that moving off of Gardner Johnson's okay. You gave him the benefit of moving off of Slay. You gave him the benefit of moving off of Josh Sweat. Here's my problem with that Josh Sweat move. You were paying Bryce Huff $17 million. Got rid of him. You mean to tell me you couldn't pay an extra $2 million for Josh? Josh only got $19 million. He made $2 million more than what you paid Bryce Huff. Really, that much more was an issue to bring that guy back for 2 more years? Okay, albeit. And then you went out and got Ojulari and Uche, who look like they're not even, they're no-shows in camp. Shields, do you think that the Seahawks would entertain a trade for Tariq Woolen and try to find a safety, or do they wait out the season for 26? I really don't know Seattle. Well, their GM I know very well, John Schneider. That he's open to anything. He's like the West Coast version of Howie. Okay, he's like the West Coast version. He might. I don't know. He might. Thank you. Love the fair criticism. Thanks for pointing out our deficiencies. In your show with Mark and Philly 500 are hilarious. Keep dishing them up. Thank you. Hey, Doobie. Again, I want it to be I want you to think though that there were good things last night. Hey, and by the way, to be fair to Kelee Ringo, that is Jamar Chase. But the problem that you have with that is, what if you take on a football team that has good wide receivers at both Y and Z? Like, check this out. Kelee Ringo is not going to be a problem in the Kansas City game. He's going to be a problem in the Dallas game. He'll be a problem in the Ram game. And he'll clearly be a problem in the Bucs game. You've got Godwin and Mike Evans. You've got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Q can only travel with one guy. He can't cover 2 guys at one time. So you're going to be okay in a way. And you could scheme it up in a way where you could cover your deficiency out there. Safety is easier to cover than corner when it comes to your deficiencies because you're on an island. You have nobody deep behind you unless you cheat the free safety over, and that creates a bigger zone in the middle for backers to have to cover. You feel me? When you have deficiencies, you open the zone more at the top of the zone or at the bottom of the zone. It just depends where those deficiencies. And if you get no pass rush, then all of that is open because the routes get to their zenith and they mature at the top end. Pressure will be essential this year. Last year, you had limited space. How many times did you watch last year when you were watching your defensive football team? And you said this, where the fuck are teams going to throw the ball? There's no space. With what you have now, with the safety and corner. And by the way, do me a favor, Vic. Pick a fucking spot for the kid. Don't be dicking around Put Cooper in the best chance and spot you think he's going to help you at. If you put him at safety and that nickel can't cover, who you putting in the nickel? McWilliams? Sidney Brown? Sidney Brown can't tackle. What was the one thing a year ago that you were so good at? The tackling from the 23 season went from a 1 to a 10. Yes, this is another great point. Patillo's play calling last night was exceptional. I thought the quarterback, the communication, I thought all of that went well. They got the play in on time. The quarterback saw the field. They got to the snap count early. What you're looking for with a young player with a lot of seconds and thirds, you want to see how fast he gets to the line of scrimmage and he absorbs what the play is. That's the quarterback's noggin and his smarts. When you get to the line of scrimmage and you still got 10 seconds or 12 seconds to get the play off, you're ahead of the sticks. Defense has to settle back because what you're trying to do is you're trying to speed the game up for the quarterback to have to make a decision inside of 10 seconds. Remember, you got to set the O-line. Set. Can't move. Pre-snap shit's all over with, and you get to move your defense around pre- and post-snap defensively. And I thought he did a great job of that last night. Got to the line of scrimmage. Play came in on time. I'll tell you one thing, too, about McKee. He sees the field fucking great. That guy needs reps. I mean, he needs reps. I'm going to play a game with Xander in a bit about how many places that guy could start in the NFL. Okay? There is no doubt. Now, look, preseason game number 1. Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, do I think there's – no, it's not that I think right now things can't be better and will not be better because adding better players to the team and to the defense, that's going to just get better because you're adding better players, your starters, right? So I wouldn't get into a tizzy, but once again, like I said, you got to figure out a corner and a safety. You got to figure out a rotating linebacker. You got to figure out your rotation and edge. Let's just hypothetically say that Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith are good edges. Well, who's the third and fourth guy when you don't have them on your football team right now? One of those guys go down. Who are you playing? Ojulari? He'll get murdered. Who are you playing? You got question marks at 3 positions. And I would, like I said, I would put them in this order. Corner, safety, and edge. I think edge is a concern, but I think it's corner and safety. Exactly what, again, replacing all those players, we need to see them in the Dallas game. Because right now, the guys that are battling for jobs are not very good. Now, look, Trotter, I thought he was okay. Missed some tackles. I thought he was okay. Now, he'll play better when he has better defensive tackles in front of him. And my question would be, if you put a shitty safety next to Reed Blankenship, does he look like Reed Blankenship 23? Or do you think Reed's place in the secondary got stronger last night and his economics got stronger last night because of what they're looking at with safety? I think it got stronger last night. I think if you're Reed Blankenship's attorneys and his agent, that was a win for you last night. You won that. You're like, hey, you need my ass back there. Okay? I'm not trading McKee for anybody. Ward or Newsome. You're talking Cleveland. So, again, I'm going to ask you, Kyle. If Hurts goes down and you need that guy to win you a Super Bowl, 90% of you said that guy could win a Super Bowl for you. Are you really selling that for a corner? I mean, they should have drafted another corner. Or why haven't you put Cooper out there? If you suck that bad at a premium position, why aren't you putting him out there? So what are you going to do? Put him out there against Dallas without any practicing? So sometimes the best moves are the moves you don't make. Let's take a breath here. We need to act, not overreact. Exactly. Nobody's saying anything other than that. Let's see how these guys handled the coaching after the film from the game. Absolutely true. Are you going to learn from what you saw? I sure hope so. But here's the difference, Bob. Kelee Ringo can't fix his deficiencies as a player when you can't track guys. That's the essential job. Get this. Bob, would you agree with this? Kelee Ringo's a better athlete than Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers is a better ball player at corner because he can track. Can he tackle? Not the best. Can he get guys on the ground? Yes. I'll tell you one thing. He's a better football player than Sidney Brown, Adoree Jackson, or Kelee Ringo. He's a better football player than those three guys. He's just a better football player. Okay? See this here? Once again, guys, he misses the point. 35 men will be picked from that game last night to make your football team. There's only 53 men. It's over 60% of your roster was playing last night. You get that, right? Right? I thought Steen had a nice block. Sills, at this point, who gives a damn if you're a better athlete? That's a fact. That's right. Because this is one of the reasons why Kelee Ringo's not really have been a factor on the Eagles. You know what the Eagles see in him? Can I tell you what I think about Kelee Ringo as of today, August 8th? He's a combine freak. That's it. And once again, the Eagles look at a combine guy, and they think highly of him, and he's a combine guy. He's not a football player. He's a combine guy. Okay? You put that guy on a football team, and you keep him on your team. This is 3 years. I asked you yesterday, how do you think the development has gone with that guy? Well, it was on display last. Now, again, I'm not looking at the Jamar Chase touchdown that he gave up. The simple tackle and getting him on the ground, playing in space. You got to be a good tackler in space when you're playing corner, especially when you're taking on the top wideouts. You're going to have that exact moment throughout the entire season, and he failed. Now, will he get better? You're assuming. I thought he was okay. I thought he played all right. I didn't think he was exceptional. I thought he was okay. You know, I mean, got off some blocks, made some plays. He gave him a ton of work last night. Okay, I do. I think he's okay. We told you this a couple weeks ago that he was going to be in the rotation. I didn't know they were working on a trade sending Thomas Booker to the Raiders. I had heard something, but I didn't know that they were trading him. That tells you that Gabe Hall has made some noise, and he'll be in that rotation. Okay? Sills, it should have never been a TD. Ringo blew it. Hey, it's Jamar Chase. You know, it's funny. I tell my daughter this all the time. When you are playing at a high level and you're playing against great football players, you know what you're hoping for? If there's 50 plays, you're hoping you have 51 plays that are better. Okay? Because that's the mark of an all-pro. You're playing against all-pros. You're playing against great players, great quarterbacks. When you got Burrow and Chase, That's the elite of the NFL. Ringo's elite? No, of course not. Again, okay, they'll be better with better players on the field. All right. Mike North will join us. That'll be at 4:30. Also, Mike Golick's going to join us at 5:30. Okay? I thought Xander did a great job yesterday. I mean, taking you through the football game, post-game comments.